Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers, and right now you guys, I'm on a layover in Las Vegas heading to Orange County to do my boots on the ground videos in San Diego, Riverside, and Orange County. So that's what I'm doing right now, so I apologize for the background, you guys. I'm going to take a seat here. Hopefully I won't get in trouble from TSA, but everyone's looking at me right now, so this is a little embarrassing. But what I'm going to talk to you guys today about is basically the updated foreclosure information from Black Knight. So we're going to dig into all of the default information, foreclosure information. Now, after I'm done with that report, I'm going to take you guys on over to Fred Economic Data so that we can see credit card debt, auto loan debt, unemployment rate, and savings rate, because all of those things matter right now. And basically at this point in the game, you guys, it's really easy to start seeing that we do have systematic failures in place, and the default bubble is about to start bursting. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what effect that's going to have on inventory coming to our housing market. Now, personally, I believe that we're going to have more inventory from commercial defaults versus residential foreclosure and defaults, but only time will tell. Either way, guys, do me a favor for embarrassing myself here at the airport. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below, but either way, I'm going to get started on this report right now. All right, so by now you're probably familiar with looking at this chart. Now, as you guys can basically see, everything is up except for foreclosure starts. Foreclosure starts are actually down 29,000 units. Obviously, people can come off of those lists onto the foreclosure sale list. So there's a lot of juggling. Now, really what we also want to look at is the default rate. Now, as you guys can see here, the default rate is actually up right now at 3.45%. Okay, I got it. Push in the video. You see why it's so hard to do these at the airport, y'all? I mean, you know, it is what it is. But regardless, you guys, 3.45% default rate right now. So obviously that's been going up. Month over month, it's up 1.96%. Obviously, we don't really look at year over year. Now, foreclosure pre-sale inventory is also up 0.46% total. Now, again, foreclosure starts down 29,000. Total foreclosure starts is up 2.46% and 7,100 additional units. Now, going down on this chart real quick, you guys, we can see the total number of properties that are 30 days or more past due is now increased 36,000 units to 1.81 million total units, total households and homes right now that are currently behind on their mortgage right now. Now, moving down this chart, we can also see the total number of properties that are in serious delinquency is down 17,000 month over month at a total of 562,000 homes that are currently in serious delinquency status right now. Now, moving on, total number of properties in foreclosure pre-sale inventory, 240,000 houses in foreclosure pre-sale inventory. So that's a ton of homes. Obviously, there's a lot of people distressed. Now, if we go all the way to the bottom of this chart, we can see that the total number of properties in distress has actually increased 38,000 to 2,050,000 total households right now, you guys, that are either in some type of foreclosure start or in delinquency status right now. Now, obviously, as things continue to get more and more unaffordable, unemployment goes up, credit card debt goes up, auto loan debt goes up. Obviously, foreclosures and defaults will also go up with them, right? And obviously there's no more money printing, so we can't just get bailed out if we get in trouble. All right, so moving on to the next chart, let's look at the top 5 states in delinquency status right now. Pretty surprising rates. Now, number 1 is Mississippi at 7.94% delinquency rate, which means almost 8% of the mortgage holders right now are in delinquency. It's also interesting to note it actually peaked in 2005 at 23%. So maximum delinquency in Mississippi, 23%. In October of 2005. Now, number 2 is Louisiana at 7.6% delinquency. Number 3, Alabama at 5.8%. Arkansas at 5.2%, West Virginia at 5.2%. So obviously those top 5 states we're going to want to keep a look at, because that is where foreclosures are surging the fastest. All right, guys, so here's the bottom states right now, starting with California. I have no idea how California is even on this list. Maybe it's because of the foreclosure bans, but shocking. California's default rate is only 2.3%. Obviously, it peaked back in 2010 at 16%. Now, Montana is number 2 at 2.6%, Idaho number 3 at 2.1%, Colorado at 2.1%, and somehow Washington is the state with the least amount of default at 2.05%. Moving on to the top 5 states with serious delinquency status, which means 90 days or more past due on their mortgage. Now, the first state, usual suspect, obviously Mississippi at 2.5% of mortgage holders currently right now, you guys, 90 days past due on their mortgage. Now, number 2 is Louisiana at 2.2%. Alabama's number 3 at 1.75%, Arkansas number 4 at 1.5%, and Georgia at 1.4%. Okay, next chart, top 5 states with surging default rates. Now, obviously, guys, number 1 is somehow Alaska at a surge of 24%. That's a 12-month surge in default rates. So something crazy is going on in Alaska. Number 2 is Vermont at 22%. Connecticut, number 3 at 19.9%. New York, huge surprise, New York's on that list. So New York is surging as far as defaults at 19.12%. Change, followed by the District of Columbia. And again, you guys, very interesting to note that Florida is no longer on that list. Now, obviously, when we compare this data historically to what happened back in 2000 and 2008, it's really difficult to kind of see what's happening. It's difficult to see a foreclosure bubble or any possible default crisis, which is why I feel like it's very important to review consumer credit card debt, auto loan debt, unemployment rate, and savings rate, so we can get a full picture of what's starting to happen in the American household and the American economy. Right there, boy, right there. Feeling that one right there. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Now, let's move on to the consumer credit card debt so I can remind you just how much trouble normal everyday Americans are in. Now, take a look. Here's Fed economic data. Last time this updated was March 17th. Total amount of credit card debt, still not quite at $1 trillion, $965 billion right now in consumer credit card debt. So let me ask you guys something. Do you think that the default rate is not going to go up, being that we have historical credit card debt, historical inflation, quantitative tightening, and everything is unaffordable? Do you think the default rate is not going to go up? I mean, you guys, listen, $1 trillion. We don't even know what's going to happen. If people start defaulting on that debt, that could actually create an additional systematic failure in the banking system yet again. But not only credit card debt, you guys, take a look at auto loan debt now. Now, as you guys can see from Fed economic data, motor vehicle loans owned $1.4 trillion, you guys. $1.4 trillion. And I just want to remind you, about 1 year ago, we were printing money still. People were getting money. How are people in so much debt? But $1.4 trillion right now in consumer auto loan debt. And again, I'm bringing all this stuff up to you guys just to remind you of how much debt is at stake of being defaulted on. That's a lot of debt, and lenders, quite frankly, you guys, they can't afford for people not to pay that, what, $2.5 trillion? So again, $2.5 trillion in consumer debt right now. What I'm saying, massive default bubble about to collapse. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, guys, they're talking overhead. I didn't know if that was my plane, but here's the other reason why, guys, the savings rate. Let me show you guys the Fed economic data personal savings rate, and understand this is the savings rate. This is not how much money people have saved. People do have a lot of money saved right now. I mean, you guys hear these people in the background. I mean, everyone wants to be on camera except when I bring it up to them. You know what I'm talking about? You guys see what I'm doing to myself? Completely shameless, you guys. I'm embarrassing myself. I'm trying to give you guys this report. So I hope you like it. One more time with the like button. Hit me up with that like button. It's super embarrassing. But take a look. Here's Fed economic data personal savings rate. Last updated February 24th. So that will update again. And I just want to show you guys it's been at 4.7%. So the personal savings rate is historically low. Normally we're sitting at 5 to 8% as far as personal savings rate. Now, if you notice, it actually has gone up recently. I believe the reason that's gone up is people are pulling their money out of risky investments and probably putting it into high yielding savings accounts. Let me know if you guys agree with that, but that's what I'm saying right here. That's what I believe. Let's move on. Here's the last chart I want to go over with you guys. Here's the Fed economic data unemployment rate. As you can see, it was last updated March 10th. Now, the unemployment rate did go up to 3.6%. Now, overall, you guys, that is still basically back at normal. It's still pretty low, still historically low, but basically we're about normal right now as far as unemployment being 3.6%. But don't forget this, Google's doing layoffs, Facebook's doing layoffs, a lot of people are doing layoffs, so more than likely we're probably going to see that unemployment rate start to balloon up. And don't forget this, the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, today actually, and we did our quarter point increase by the way, you guys, but he said today they've changed their forecast to 4.5% in unemployment. So basically what is expected is about another million job losses this year are supposed to happen. So again, you guys, this is what's going on right now as far as American household homeowners, and just because someone's a homeowner doesn't mean they're not drowning in credit card debt and auto loan debt. So again, as we move forward into this year, I think it's going to be extremely revealing on what happens next. Now real quick, you guys, I wanted to apologize for something. I made a live video the other day and I basically said I was going to look at houses in the ghetto, okay? And I should not have used that term. I had some people hate on me and say that I was racist, and I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like the least racist person you've ever met in your life. But what I didn't understand is what that word meant. So I looked up that word, you know, and here's what I want to say. If I offended anyone for using that, I apologize. I never meant to offend anyone, but I am sorry because now I really kind of dug in and understand what that definition is. So guys, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt anyone's feelings or be disrespectful or insensitive in any way. But having said all that, remember you guys, worry about yourselves, your mindset, becoming an expert in your local housing market, because those are the things that matter right now, you guys. We have so many data trends right now that are showing us that we need to be careful. And basically I look at 2022 as 2007. I look at 2023 as 2008. And probably 2024 is going to be the new 2009. I mean, you guys, the thing is, just be cautious is my point. Now, other than that, I really hope you guys got some insights, value, and perspective from today's video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.